Namers all around the world. Welcome one, welcome all. But first things first, can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah? All right. Now we're ready for liftoff. Let's go.
9, 8,
7, 6.
5,
Come on.
4, 3, 2,
1. Come on.
0.
All aboard, all aboard.
Liftoff.
Here we go.
Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Come on.
Get ready.
Yes.
Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt.
Yes.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Yes.
Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show
With no
name.
Come on.
On radio. It's a show with no name.
Where? Right. Vaughn Radio. That's it.
Let's go.
Welcome one, welcome all. Show with no namers. That's for you. That's for my students who are here day in, day out, putting in the effort it takes to make anything happen in life, not just learn a language. So kudos to you. Enhorabuena. Kudos to you. My amazing show with no namers from every single continent. That's one of the coolest things about Vaughn Radio and FYI and the show with no name. I mean, we have listeners in places we've never even heard of. At least me. And that's awesome. That's really amazing. You know, Branson, Missouri. I said, what? Branson, Missouri? Holy shit. But that's awesome. You know, to think that someone is listening to your voice in some corner of the globe, learning, laughing, playing. And that's what we plan to do today and every day. We vow. To vow is to promise. We vow to have fun and learn English every single day. Not just on the show with no name, but on Vaughn Radio in general. Don't forget, you got amazing programs all day long. My great friends will teach you English and also entertain you all throughout your day. All you have to do is download the free Vaughn Radio app. Or you can download your favorite programs wherever you get your podcasts.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, folks. We've got a million different options. I shouldn't say options. I should say solutions to help you with whatever your English needs may be. Now, we know everybody who's learning any language, well, your first need is to understand. But you also need to speak. And you can't they go hand in hand. Okay? That's the thing. I have students, I need to improve my listening. Well, the more you listen, the more it's going to sound familiar to you. It won't sound like a foreign language. And then when something is wrong, you'll know it's wrong. You'll be like, eso no me suena bien. I always use my wife as the example. My wife doesn't know the present perfect continuous. She doesn't know el participio de tal or el phrasal verb tal. But I can tell you something. If I say to her, honey, which one of these sentences is correct? She says, read them aloud. Léelos en voz alta. And she knows intuitively. So everything counts. Now, if you want to just improve your listening, that's great. But also, I know that communication is not just about comprehension. It's also about getting your point across. Comunicando claramente lo que tú quieres decir. It's a great phrasal verb to get your point across, to get your idea across. You would say transmitir. You can say transmit, but it's a little bit formal. We want to sound totally native, right? That's the whole idea here. And speaking of getting your point across, if you'd like to participate in our question of the week, tell us in around a minute, what is the first thing that comes to mind? All right, I don't want you to think about it too much this week. The first thing that comes to mind when you think of success. I want you to do it off the cuff. Off the cuff, great idiomatic expression. Improvisado, sin pensarlo mucho, no? So what is the first thing that comes to mind? It's not, I didn't ask how you define success, because then you think about it and you're like, I define success as, no. When you think of success, do you think of somebody driving a Ferrari? You know, do you think of somebody with a family with 6 kids? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? So this week, I want you to do it a little bit off the top of your head. A bote pronto, you say? Apúntate esa, es buenísima. Wow, we've looked at a lot of idiomatic expressions, and we're just getting started. Off the top of your head. All right, amigos. All right, well, what else? Also, question of the week and Richard Vaughn. Mark your calendars, especially if you live in Madrid. Richard Vaughn is hosting our trivia night. That is March 4th. Mark your calendars. We're all going to be there March 4th, and it'll be at 8 p.m. at the Toast Tap Room. So lots of exciting things happening in the Vaughn world. And if you've never been to the trivia night, it's a lot of fun, especially for people who love challenges. And speaking of challenges, I think it's time for today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. ¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés.
That's right, folks. Weekend Town. Check it out. It is a life-changing. It's not just going to change your English. It'll change your life. You'll make long-lasting friendships as well. And it is Weekend Town. Anybody who's done Vaughan Town will tell you it is, shall we say, a religious experience. Yeah, it's a turning point. Punto de inflexión. It's that aha moment when you realize, I've got this. Puedo con esto. So today's pop quiz. Well, folks, a lot of times in our pop quiz, we take a look at the amazing materials you can pick up at Vaughan Tienda. Amazing materials such as English Everywhere. This book is the milk. This book is the milk too. English on the go. Aprende inglés viajando por el mundo. This book is the shit. 365 días de wellness e inglés. Or, who knows, our translation booklets, our phrasal verb books, our Speak English B2 books. Whatever you're looking for, we've got it for you. Well, today, we're going to take a look at a text that was sent to me by one of your classmates. So let's give it up for Laura. This was sent to me by Laura. And I figured it was a good thing, and I guess so did she, ella igual, a good thing to take a look at here on the show because it's got a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of inconsistencies in the English language, if you will. Okay? So let's take a look at it. Now, this is something that was written by Lord Cromer. Lord Cromer. I'm sorry, I should say it correctly. Lord Cromer. And this was published in The Spectator in 1902. So imagine, in 1902, we already knew that the English language was absolutely crazy. We knew. Lord Cromer knew. Of course he knew. So let's take a look at this. And I want you guys to pay attention because, as you know, you'll always have a challenge or two afterwards. That's how the pop quiz goes. So let's break it down. Let's go line by line. And let's here, I want you guys, whenever possible, to say the vocabulary aloud. Why? Because these are tricky words. Okay, these are words that throw people off. Desconciertan. Oh, okay, no, go. Most of these words I've heard mispronounced many times. And again, they're inconsistent. Porque if English was consistent, wouldn't come and home sound the same? They both end in O-M-E. Come home. Well, they don't. That's English. We know it. But we got to work with it. We've got to play the hand that we've been dealt. Tenemos que jugar las cartas, the hand that we've been dealt, que nos repartieron. So we learn to work with the language. We learn to tame it like a lion, right? To make it more domesticated, to make it less foreign, to make it more familiar. Correct? All right, so let's familiarize ourselves with this. When the English tongue we speak, yeah, we say lengua también. Mi lengua, right? My mother tongue, my native tongue, that means idioma, okay? Tongue. The pronunciation, say it with me. Tongue rhymes with, it rhymes with sung, el participio de sing, rung, el participio de ring, right? And what else? Tongue, sung, lung, pulmón. All right. Now you know if you can rhyme 4 words with it, then you definitely know how to pronounce it. Okay. Why is break not rhymed with freak? Otro ejemplo, right? Break, R-E-A-K. Freak, que es un freak es un bicho raro, also ends in R-E-A-K. So it's insane. Break. Why is break not rhymed with freak? In a logical world, they would both sound the same. Will you tell me why it's true. Will you tell me why it's true? We say so, but likewise few. So did you catch that one? Pues el verbo coser, S-E-W, is not pronounced su, like few. Well, few tampoco. So the the EW in few sounds like you, right? But in the EW in coser sounds like oh, so. So ahora que sabes, we say so, S-E-W, but likewise few. Again, shouldn't they be pronounced the same? All right. And the maker of the verse cannot rhyme his horse with worse. Otra. So we've got horse, O-R-S-E, and worse. It's not worse. He's the worst. No me sale ni decirlo así. He's the worst guy I've ever met. No. Okay. He's worse than his father. No. So let's say both of them. Horse, que es un homófono para afónico, right? Horse. Esa se escribe H-O-A-R-S-E, right? So, horse, and the other one, worse. Worse. Not to be confused with the worst. So el worse es el comparativo. This pen is worse than that pen. This pen is the worst, period. Okay? Asegúrate que no te líes con esas dos. Okay? And beard, we looked at that one, is not the same as heard. Claro, en un mundo lógico, I heard about your beard. Well, those two words should sound the same, correct? E-A-R-D. No. And there's a homophone for heard, too. Manada. It's an easy way to remember it. Quitamos la A. Y cuidado, porque muchos dicen heard, right? No, heard. O sea, asócialo. I heard a herd of sheep, right? Ovejas. I heard, they're homophones. All right. And cord is el cable. Cord is different from word. Claro. Cord, word. Oh, my Lord. And Lord is different. Well, Lord rhymes with cord, but not with word. That's English for you. And cow is cow, but low is low. In one sense, it's cow. Ow. Vaca, right? In the other sense, low. No, lao. We don't say lao. Or co. We don't say co. We say cow. Although I've heard students say co. So again, this is why we're looking at these words, because they can be a bit confusing. Okay. Shoe is never rhymed with foe. Foe is another way of saying enemy. Y mola porque es con F como friend. Are you friend or foe? So, ambos son O-E, ¿correcto? Foe, F-O-E, enemigo. It's not shoe, it's not foo, right? If it follows the same pronunciation as shoe, then that word should be foo. But it's not foo, it's foe. Welcome to English. And then it says, think of hose, manguera, hose, dose, and lose. Ahí tienes tres ejemplos donde acaban con O-S-E y suena diferente. So vamos por ellas. Manguera, hose. Dosis, dose. And perder, lose. I hope you guys are doing this aloud with me. All right, and think of goose. Goose es ganso. Goose, and yet with choose. So now we've got elegir. Ambos son O-O-S-E. Say this. I choose the goose. O sea, no se pronuncian igual, pero si las ves dices, pues no. I choose, vamos, dilo conmigo. I choose this goose. Choose goose. Very, very different. And think of comb. Comb, you know, do you recognize the words at least when I'm saying them? Comb es peine. Tomb and bomb. Los tres acaban con O-M-B, pero la primera comb rima con home. Oh my God. And tomb, las veces que he oído Tom Rider, it's not Tom, it's tomb. Piensa, es casi como en español, tumba, tomb. We'll just quita la B y la A. Same sound. It's a little trick so you don't say Tom Raider. And bomb rhymes with mom. Es la forma que siempre digo que hay que acordarse cómo se pronuncia bomba en inglés. My mom is the bomb. And she's coming this weekend, by the way. All right. And doll and roll. Doll. Dilo conmigo, muñeca, doll. And roll. Rodar. They both end in O-L-L, but don't let that fool you. Roll the doll. Roll the doll. And home and some. We looked at that at the beginning. That was the example I used with come home. Someday. Right? Those words should all be pronounced the same if English were logical. It is logic. I think it's very logical as far as the grammar is concerned, but the spelling just doesn't make sense. Since pay is rhymed with say, eso sí, why not paid with said? Yeah, técnicamente, amigos, cuando decís mal, I said no. Pues técnicamente debería ser así, ¿no? Porque paid es así. Pero no, it's said. Tengo sed, amigo. That's what I said. Hey, si te ayuda. So why not paid with said, I pray? Think of blood. Aquí tienes tres. Dilos conmigo. Sangre, blood. Comida, food, y bueno, good. Blood sausage is good food. No, morcilla es buena comida. Blood, good food. Ninguno. And mold is not pronounced like could. Mold, un molde, aunque es O-U-L-D. Mold, could. O sea, no parece que en un millón de años que serían las mismas palabras, la misma pronunciación, excuse me. Wherefore done, but gone and loan. Vamos a decir estas porque son tres palabras bastante útiles. Done, terminado. Gone, so done, gone, and lone, solitario. There was a lone person sitting in the park, okay? Is there any reason known to sum up all? It seems to me sounds and letters don't agree. Thank you very much, Laura, for sending that. I think it's a great one, and we looked at some really good, excellent vocabulary, common words that are in use that can be a bit confusing. Now, I want to see if you guys got it or not. I want you to rhyme some words with me that we looked at. I'm going to give you 4 today, okay? The first one, tell me something that rhymes with barba in English. So you can put rima con okay? So, 4 words that you need to rhyme something with today. The first one is barba. The second one is manguera. Okay? The third one is tumba. And the fourth one is dijo. Okay? El pasado, right? El dijo. We just looked at that one seconds ago. In fact, I even made a little joke. So, do you know how to pronounce these tricky words? Prove it by telling me a couple. You can tell me 1 or 2 rhyming words for each one. Again, the first word is barba. Rímame algo con barba. The second word is, in inglés, evidentemente, right? Okay. Manguera is number 2. Number 3, rímame algo con tumba in inglés. And number 4 in today's pop quiz, rhyme something with the past tense of the verb say. All right, my amigos, We'll take a look at that and much more in the second part of today's show. We have got a lot of exciting stuff planned and ready for you in today's show. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1, stick around. Hey amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to tune in to our other amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio. You can start your day with my buddy Rob Grams in the Pro Bow Show. You'll learn real English with Rob. After that, you've got a master class with Fitz. And if you can't attend, you've got no excuses, as the program is called, because you can also get it wherever you get your podcasts. And after this show, you have an hour with one of the most amazing teachers / people in the world. I'm talking about Jimena Holiday and her program, Test Your English. Then you can have lunch with my buddies, Rob and Andy. Shoot the shit with them. Puedes estar de palique con ellos. And then after that, you can learn to speak up with Ruby. Followed by Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. Kyle Miller's Drive Time. The Salad with Dave Boyce. Frankly Speaking with Chris Frank, Richard Vaughn Live, and I know I'm leaving somebody out. Oh, man. Who was that again?
Guess who's back? Back again. Yes, he's back. Tell a friend. Yes, he's back. 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 That's right. The Hour to Empower with Jessica Fernandez is back on Vaughn Radio.
That was it. The Hour to Empower. Well, that's right, folks. If you have the Vaughn Radio app, then you can listen to all your favorite programs. You can also find them on your favorite podcast platforms as well. All right, let's rock and roll with today's Say What soundbite.
Say what?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Say What soundbite. All right, amigos. As always, you're going to hear this 4 times on today's show. 4 times. You'll have 4 chances to jot it all down. Initially, I just want you to tell me what you heard in your best English, a little summary of what you heard. And as always, by the end of the show, we will figure out what's going on. We'll look at any tricky vocabulary. And as always, we'll see if somebody can get it. Laura, we missed you the last couple days in the Say What soundbite. Of course we did. Well, we missed you in every section, not just the Say What soundbite. So it's great to have you back. I'm reading all your comments now, and we'll get to your comments in just a minute. I see we've got a lot of people participating in our pop quiz. But first, let's hear our Say What soundbite for the first time. Pay attention, listen carefully.
You think I'm going to waterboard you, Bashir? Waterboarding is when we can't torture. This is Africa. I can do whatever the fuck I want here. You're going to answer every question I ask you without me harming a hair on your head. Do you want to know why? Because if you don't, I'm going to call in an airstrike on your house.
Whoa, it does not sound like a comedy at all. I don't think that sounds like a comedy. It sounds quite serious, quite intense. All right. Well, the first time, I think, just opens up your ear, right? But the second time, hopefully, you'll be able to get the gist of it and even be able to give me a little summary of what you heard. Here's your Say What soundbite for the second time.
You think I'm going to waterboard you, Bashir? Waterboarding is when we can't torture. This is Africa. I can do whatever the fuck I want here. You're going to answer every question I ask you without me harming a hair on your head. Do you want to know why? Because if you don't, I'm going to call in an airstrike on your house.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damián, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit.
Oh, you bet it's the shit. Of course it's the shit. You can bank on it, amigos. There's an idiomatic expression we looked at recently. You can bank on it. Puedes contar con ello. It's This Book is the Shit. It's my latest book, and it's available at Von Tienda and wherever fine books are sold. I always wanted to say that my whole life. And finally, when English Everywhere came out, I was able to say it. Wherever fine books are sold. It's one of those like marketing things, those slogans that you've been hearing since you were a kid. You know, no strings attached, sin compromiso. If you want to learn all that stuff, you can pick up Kyle's book, Kyle Miller I'm talking about, the host of Drive Time. He's got a book called Business English. And if you mean business, si vais en serio, then you got to get your hands on that book. I shouldn't call it a book. It's more of a multimedia material because it's got audio and video. So it's very, very useful. It's worth its weight in gold. All right, let's see who's with us and ready to rock and roll through our different challenges of today. There's Laura in the house. Hello, Laura, bringing some magic. She says, good morning, lovely and resourceful show with no-namers. And Laura, what you have just proved to me there is that you, even though you weren't here yesterday and the day before live, you listened to the show, and you didn't only listen to the show, but you also extracted all that vocabulary and all those idiomatic expressions from it. And I think that is lovely, as you put over here, lovely, resourceful show with no-namers. There's Open Waters. Open Waters, you have been on fire lately. Kudos to you, Open Waters. Elena in the house. What's up, Elena? She says, good morning, everyone. Let's get cracking. Do you guys smell that? Is that a totally native? Let's get cracking. Pongámonos en marcha. Vamos al lío. I love it, Elena. Excellent. Open Water says, let's learn some English. You've got the right attitude, Open Waters. There's Born to Iron Man, speaking of people with the right attitude. And he says, morning, amigos. What's up, buddy? Howdy. Howdy, partner. Chris Valrol, speaking of superstars, and she's got star emojis. She says, morning, fantastic show with no-namers. Morning to you, Chris, as well. Great to have you with us. David's in the house. David says, good morning, Alberto and mates. Great to have you, David. Thanks for joining us in our English extravaganza. Laura says, when the English tongue we speak is a poem, see you speak. I suggest you look up the poem online, guys. Yeah, that's why I said Lord Cromer. If you look up Lord Cromer, when the English we speak, or when the English tongue we speak, what Laura said. Lo que dijo Laura. Let's see. Open Waters taking a stab at today's pop quiz. And Open Water says beard rhymes with cleared. Absolutely. Hose, manguera, rhymes with foes and froze. Absolutely. So far, so good. And tomb rhymes with broom and gloom. Said rhymes with bed and dead. Can we get a perfect there? All right. Open Waters, you nailed it. So beard, cleared, vamos a decirlos, dilos, así practicamos este sonido. Beard, cleared, feared, right? Temido, feared, right? Seared, seared es cuando cocinas como atún a la plancha, está crudito por dentro, pero quemadito por fuera. You know, it's seared. Oh, anybody, see? Here we go, getting hungry. My mouth just started watering when I said seared tuna or seared salmon. It's a way to cook. Hey, we can look at new vocabulary too, right? Beard, cleared, seared, feared, tiered. Tiered, con muchas. When we talk about wedding cakes, we talk about tiers, capas, niveles. So it's multi-tiered. Great. Hose rhymes with foes and froze and close. I love it. Tomb rhymes with broom, gloom, and doom. I had to add it. Did anybody catch it? Doom and gloom, the Rolling Stones song. That's what it reminded me of. Great words, Open Waters. And said rhymes with bed and dead. I love it. Excellent job. See? I said you've been kicking butt, and, well, it's true. You just proved it again. Laura says beard rhymes with cheered. Absolutely. Hose rhymes with those. Tomb rhymes with womb. Yeah, that's where you were when you were, before you were born, you were in the womb, right? El vientre, I think you say. And said rhymes with red. Oh, yeah. You nailed it, Laura. Great job. Open Waters. And Laura, Elena, the man with a long beard is soaking in his beer. Okay, it's the same vowel sound, but that's weird that you didn't add a D, but it's fine. Beer, beard, right? You just got to add a D. It's the same vowel sound. So good, Elena. Are those the ones, te falta la S, who said the bread was stale? Excellent. Said and bread. Muy bien. And the tomb was broken by that fool. So tomb, fool. Fool. It's the same vowel sound again, but it doesn't necessarily rhyme. Tomb rhymes with room, right? But fool, same vowel sound though. We'll give it to you. But I want to make sure you get that ending sound as well, too. You know, because that's the part that people, tom, so tomb, right? So I want to make sure that you got that ending sound. Tomb rhymes with womb, doom, gloom, broom, zoom. Muchos hacéis reuniones por Zoom. You say thum, we say zoom. All right, great job, Elena. Chris Valrol says, beard rhymes with eared. Muy bien. De orejas tal. He's a big-eared guy. Great. Beard rhymes with eared. Hose with nose. I don't know. Oh, nose. Nose. I've never seen it written in plural. Nose. And also nose. Si le das la vuelta a la ES, nose. Hose rhymes with nose, close. Doze. To doze is echar una cabezadita, sleep really quick, right? Great. Tomb with gloom and said with bed. Great. And Elena says, whose hose is it? Whose and hose, though, they don't sound the same. Listen. Whose hose is it? Okay, so those two. Whose rhymes with blues, rhymes with clues, rhymes with news. And hose rhymes with clothes, doze, O's, OS, right? So, all right, wonderful job, everyone. That was great. Make sure you got those words because those are tricky ones. Thank you very much to Laura for sending that to us as well. All right, let's see what you guys had to say about our Say What soundbite here. Open Waters says, I heard an American guy, American con mayúscula, Open Waters. We nationalities and languages, days of the week and months are capitalized in English. I know they're not in Spanish. That's why I'm telling you. Okay, so meses, días de la semana, nacionalidades, idiomas, those are all capitalized. In Espanol, no. I heard an American guy. I think he is grilling another one. Great, to grill, to ask a lot of questions, right? He's grilling another one and saying that he can ask whatever he wants to ask. And he's threatening about what could happen if the other guy doesn't answer. You heard it perfectly. That's what's going on. That is exactly what's going on, amigos. All right, let's see other amigos participating. Laura says, I heard an excerpt from a thriller or an action movie in which an American man with a menacing voice, una voz amenazante, is trying to scare someone to death, okay, asustarle a muerte, by threatening him to be able to get the information he needs. Absolutely. Great job. Elena's got something to say about it. Elena says, a man with a husky, great husky voice. A man with a husky, intimidating voice, threatening someone to answer his questions, or else he'll suffer the consequences. And we say it the same as you guys. Like in an interrogation, right? He's being interrogated. It's an interrogation. ¿Te suena? Interrogado. Ah, yeah. He's being questioned. Because normally, if I'm asking you a question, te estoy haciendo una pregunta. But if you're being questioned, se te está preguntando because they think you're guilty of something, right? So, great, guys. These are wonderful. You know what? I thought it was going to be hard to get the gist of it, but you guys, whether you get it or not, I'm really proud that you were able to follow along and know what's going on in the scene. So, excellent. Really good job. All right. Let's see. Chris says, I heard an American man who is giving someone the third degree. Great. Let's give her a... To give the third degree. How would you say this in Spanish? Yeah, it's another way of saying asking serious questions, interrogating, to give somebody the third degree. That's a totally native. Great job, Chris. Yes, cuestión. It's questioning someone, right? Okay. And it's not just, because questioning is dudando, haciendo preguntas. It's a little bit different than asking someone a question, okay? So you'll see it a lot in crime dramas. The police took him in for questioning, okay? Le llevaron a la estación para unas preguntas. And it's not, so what's your favorite kind of tea? That's not the kind of questioning. ¿Y qué te gusta a ti? Would you like some tea right now? And I'd say, she says, because he's inviting someone to answer his questions under threat. And I think he mentions torture and Africa. That's right. Great observations. Seriously. Fantastic observations. The third degree, to give someone the third degree, to just ask really, pressing questions to try and get information from somebody. And that's, hablando de números ordinales, that's when you plead the fifth, right? To plead the fifth is la quinta enmienda. Now, I know that's not your constitution in Spanish. But to plead the fifth, aquí no está, really? Honestly, that's weird that I can't find. To plead the fifth, come on. It means I'm not going to speak, right? I'm not going to incriminate, so I decline to answer any questions. It's another way of saying no comment. I plead the fifth. All right. You can tell who watches these. Hey, Netflix and HBO Max, they are full of these kind of true crime documentaries. So you can learn a lot of this vocabulary and be entertained. Unless you have a 5-year-old daughter. And then it's Peppa Pig time. And Shrek for the 1,275th time. More or less. That's ballpark. Ballpark es una estimación. All right, let's see. German says, has she ever leered at that guy's beard? I love it. And to leer, ¿cómo se dice esto? To leer at is mirar lascivamente, okay? Mirar con maldad, lujuriosa, it's you're leering at somebody, right? Lascivamente, that's a crazy word. Con maldad, right? Mirar maliciosa. We also say to give somebody the stink eye or to give somebody a dirty look. So has she ever leered at that guy's beard? Great. Excellent job. The next one. Who said you'd eventually get the lead out? Wow. Get the lead out significa date prisa. Saca el plomo. Piénsalo. O sea, get the lead out. Saca el plomo que no te... Ponte en marcha. Excellent idiomatic expression, German. You guys, really, really wonderful job. I'm impressed every day, but really, some wonderful vocabulary that you guys are using. So, and the last one, don't worry, it's just a gloom and doom tomb. I was waiting for somebody to give us the Rolling Stones. Oh, and Chris, pues mira, lo apunto. Chris says, we also say someter a alguien a un tercer grado. Oh, well, you still get the totally native. All right, amigos, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. I can't believe it. We are halfway through the show. We still have tons of things to cover. We're going to play more challenges up ahead as well. Homophones, Double Trouble, name that lyric, name that movie. We're going to learn some Italian with lovely Laura as well. All that and much more when we come back. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back, my amigos. This is part 3 of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Just a quick reminder, you've got until February 17th, 2025. And if you sign up for one of our courses before then, you will get 1 year of Speak Pro. Speak Pro, where you'll learn fluency, agility, pronunciation with Jimena Holiday and yours truly, un servidor. That's right. All right, my amigos. Also, a quick reminder, too. The only person who has participated in this week's question of the week so far is Nudia. Nudia, thank you. The rest of you, what are you waiting for? I said the first thing that comes to your mind. I don't want you to think about it too much. You've got until the end of the day every Thursday to get me your question of the week. Send it to aalonso@grupovon.com. aalonso@grupovon.com. Keep it at around a minute. Don't forget to introduce yourself and tell us, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of success? And this is an opportunity for you to practice your speaking every week, really. I mean, you should be practicing it every day, but this is at least an opportunity to make sure you're practicing it on a weekly basis. All right, amigos, time for some more tricky words in Homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. 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 Show with no name. Show with no name. Show with no name.
That's right, it's homophones here on the show with no name. And as always, my amigos, here's where I'm going to ask you for 2 words, but I don't just want to know those 2 words. I want to know if they sound identical. If you couldn't tell them apart without context. To tell apart es distinguir entre ellos. Apúntate esa. If you can't tell them apart, I call it the twins phrasal verb. Oh, wow, I can't tell them apart. Of course they're twins, right? Es la que usamos con cosas parecidas. Well, twins is a perfect example. All right, now this is a word that I used to say wrong in Spanish. I used to mix it up with eagle, águila. Okay, but it's not eagle, it's not águila, it's anguila. See what happened there? Hasta ahora dudo. I'm like, anguila. Anguila. It looks like a snake. I know they're not snakes. But for somebody who's afraid of snakes, I don't think I'd want to come across one of these either. Just to be honest with you. Some people love them. Very popular in sushi restaurants, right? They prepare sashimi sushi with anguila. My wife loves it. I'm not a fan. So anguila, are you familiar with the word in English? All right. The second word is enfermo. Malo, you say. Estoy malo. Estoy enfermo. Okay. There you go. Those are your 2 words there. Okay. The first word is a kind of animal that looks like a snake that lives under the sea. Under the sea. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. I know. I've never been a big Little Mermaid fan, but if you can't beat them, join them. I was telling you, I guess I'll take, if it's between Peppa Pig and Little Mermaid, give me Ariel. I'll take, you say Ariel, we say Ariel, right? Okay, so the first word, anguila, not águila, and the second one. So if you were to say, creo que esa anguila está enferma, está mala, una anguila or una anguila? I think una. I would say. I don't know. See? So anguila and enfermo. What are the 2 words? And do they sound exactly the same or not? Also, I'm going to give you your Say What soundbite now for the 3rd time. As I said, this one's a little bit tough. The good news is you guys already got the main idea. You got the gist of it. So maybe with this listen and one more, you'll be able to jot it all down. Here it is for the 3rd time.
You think I'm going to waterboard you, Bashir? Waterboarding is when we can't torture. This is Africa. I can do whatever the fuck I want here. You're going to answer every question I ask you without me harming a hair on your head. Do you want to know why? Because if you don't, I'm going to call in an airstrike on your house.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. That's right, folks. Vaughntown, you've got weekend town, you've got group classes, you've got private classes, whatever your needs may be. You've even got online courses. So make sure you're following us on social media, and this way you are in the know, enterado. I used to mix that word up with enterrado, right? Buried. Same as anguila and aguila. Hey, you live and learn, as we say in English. All right, speaking of that word, anguila, let's see how you guys did in our homophone section. All right, German, the first word is not the correct word, so I can't judge. This is what I always tell you guys. In this section, if you don't give me the two words I asked for, then I can't really say if it's correct or not, because we're talking about apples and oranges, como decimos en inglés. Estamos comparando cosas diferentes. So let's see. Next up, we've got Born to Iron Man. Those are the correct words, Born to Iron Man. Good job. And he says they don't sound alike. Elena gives us the correct words as well. And she says they aren't homophones. German just corrected it. Okay, that's the correct word now. So he says no. Laura says they don't sound alike. And Chris says they're not homophones, I think. All right, well, let's just say the words and then we can rhyme them and we'll know instantly if the same words rhyme with them, right? The first one is eel. Eel. Eel, say it with me, rhymes with feel. Rhymes with real. Rhymes with steal. Rhymes with Jessica Biel, la actriz. That's the first thing that came to mind. Hey, not a bad thing to pop into your mind. Jessica Biel, okay? Eel, seal, sellar o sello. They all rhyme with eel. And the second word, ill. Ill. Vamos a decirlos juntos. The eel is ill. The eel, say it with me, the eel is ill. Excellent job, show with no namers. That poor eel is ill. And ill, let's rhyme some words. Now that we just rhymed some words with eel, let's rhyme some with ill. I will rhymes with ill. Till. Till is until, o till también, lo vimos en un Double Trouble, es donde pagas, ¿no? A cash register. We don't call it the till in English. Still. Are you still ill? Dilo conmigo. ¿Sigues enfermo? ¿Sigues malo? Are you still ill? Well, maybe you need to climb up that hill, right? So hill, fill, still, dill. You know the word dill? Eneldo. Oh, man, I'm talking about food again. All right, well, let's change gears, folks. It's time for a section that we've started recently, and I'm loving it. You guys are loving it, and it makes this show just a little more international. It's time to learn some Italiano with Laura.
Tutti a bordo. Impariamo a little bit of Italiano with Laura.
Ciao a tutti, sono Laura.
Mamma mia! That's right, folks. It is time to learn a little Italian. And as always, Laura teaches us an idiomatic expression, but she stops and explains, when we see these letters together, it's pronounced like this. This is her, this is him. So she's explaining also the basics that I think you would need to know in any language that you wanted to communicate in. And of course, very important, because we are learning English here, we always look at the English equivalent as well. So here she is, your classmate, lovely Laura.
Ciao amici, sono Laura, come state? Spero bene. Benvenuti di nuovo alla sezione Tutti on board, impariamo a little bit of italiano. Allora, qual è il detto italiano che ho scelto oggi? What's the Italian idiom I've chosen today? È questo. Chi va piano, va sano e va lontano. Let's look at the origin and meaning of this idiom. Chi va piano, va sano e va lontano. This expression comes from the ancient Greece, from a famous Aesop's fable called The Tortoise and the Hare. I remember having it read to me by my parents when I was little. In Aesop's story, a swift and arrogant hare is making fun of a slow and steady tortoise, and the tortoise challenges the hare to a race. As the hare is much quicker than the tortoise and outpaces her early in the race, she stops to take a nap. And while she's asleep, the tortoise continues to move slowly but without stopping, and ends up overtaking her and winning the race. So, the moral of the story and the meaning of the idiom is that you can be more successful by doing things slowly and steadily, and by being consistent, determined, and persevering, than by acting quickly and carelessly. Let's analyze the sentence. Analizziamo la frase. Chi, spelled C-H-I, chi, means who. He or she who. Va, spelled V-A, va, is the present of the verb andare, spelled A-N-D-A-R-E, andare, in the third person singular, and it means goes. So, lui o lei va means he or she goes. Piano, spelled P-I-A-N-O, piano, means slowly. Well, piano means also piano, like in English, the musical instrument. But in this context means slowly. Sano, spelled S-A-N-O, sano, means healthy. E, spelled E, means and. And finally, lontano, spelled L-O-N-T-A-N-O, lontano, means far. As we already learned when we were looking at the idiom, lontano dagli occhi, lontano dal cuore. Do you remember?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And vicino was its opposite.
I was just asking myself that.
So, the literal translation of chi va piano, va sano e va lontano would be he or she who goes slowly, goes healthy, and goes far. What are the Spanish and English counterparts of chi va piano, va sano e va lontano? In Spanish, I think they say sin prisa pero sin pausa, o lento y seguro se llega al final. And in English, they say slow and steady wins the race. And that's all for today, amici. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit of Italian with me. Thank you, and alla prossima puntata. Ciao!
Oh, wow. Excellent. And you know what, Laura? I understood it even before you explained it, because we already looked at lontano, and it's funny because I asked myself, what was the opposite? Vicino. It's funny. Wow. You could tell that the way teachers and students think. And then piano I knew was slow, and I was able to figure that one out on my own. What a wonderful class, Laura. Excellent. Your classmates are saying the same over here in our group. Yes, slow and steady wins the race, or slow but steady. You can say slow and steady or slow but steady. And yes, it's the classic tale of the tortoise and the hare. Okay? ¿El pelo? No, the hair is liebre, aunque es un homófono. It's a homophone, right? That hair, H-A-R-E, doesn't have any hair, H-A-I-R. So slow and steady wins the race. It's about taking things in stride, con filosofía, con calma, right? Not getting overwhelmed. Entonces, esa es otra que me recuerda, to take it in stride. A stride es un paso a la vez, con filosofía, paso a paso. The healthy one also reminds me of an apple a day keeps the doctor away. If you'll be healthy if you eat healthy, right? It's about good habits. It's about pacing yourself. To pace yourself, I think lo del fútbol es dosificarse, ¿no? To pace yourself, marcar tu ritmo, and be realistic. And it also, the health thing again, reminded me of early to bed, early to rise makes a person healthy, wealthy, and wise. But I think Laura nailed it. She hit the nail on the head. The perfect translation is slow and steady wins the race. All right. Well, what a wonderful one. And thanks again to Laura. But it's time for another challenge. It's our spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
That's right, my amigos. This is round one of your spelling bee, and you know what that means. Round one means get ready to sweat. Get ready to get a little bit overwhelmed. Here in this round, we don't apply the slow and steady wins the race rule. That's round two. Round one is if you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. O sea, esta viene con mucha presión. All right, is everybody ready? Round one. And let me set the scene here because you know me, I like to get in the right mood, There we go. Lovely. Now we're ready. All right, don't let the birds fool you. Still going to be hellish, even though it sounds like you're in paradise right now. All right, let's capitalize the first letter of every word, and here we go. The first one is M-A-R-I-N-E space I-G-U-A-N-A. The second one is B-L-U-E dash F-O-O-T-E-D space B-O-O-B-Y. The third one, D-A-R-W-I-N apostrophe S space F-I-N-C-H-E-S. The next one is G-I-A-N-T space T-O-R-T-O-I-S-E. The fifth one, H-A-M-M-E-R-H-E-A-D space S-H-A-R-K. And the last one is W-A-V-E-D space A-L-B-A-T-R-O-S-S. There you go, folks. Good luck. That's quite relaxing, isn't it? If we weren't in round one of our spelling bee, probably the craziest section of the show, maybe you could even relax a little bit. But don't rest on your laurels, because somebody's going to get it. All right, guys. Well, I'm just gonna lie back over here in the sun and have a margarita while we see if anybody got those words. All right. Hang on. I couldn't even take a sip of my margarita, man. Are you serious? All right. Born to Iron Man, taking a stab at it. Let's see how he did. The first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one's correct. Number 5 is perfect. And ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Number 6 is perfect as well. Born to Iron Man, knocking it out of the park in round 1 of our spelling bee. All right, well, here's round 2. Born to Iron Man, grab a margarita. Hey, you deserve it. You nailed it over there. All right, here we go. Round 2. This is where I go at a normal pace, okay? Here's where slow and steady wins the race. Even though I don't go slow, I go at an average pace, okay? As if I were spelling it for a native speaker, okay? But I wanted them to get it. Okay, so the first one is Marine space IGUANA. The second one, BLUE dash or hyphen FOOTED space BOOBY. The third one, DAR WIN apostrophe S space FINCHES. The fourth one is GIANT space TORTOISE. That word Laura mentioned in the Italian section. Number 5, HAMMERHEAD space SHARK. And the sixth and final one is WAVED space ALBATROSS. All right, great job. Chris and Laura got them as well. Wow, the Holy Trinity, your amigos, born to Iron Man, Chris Valrol and Laura, have successfully completed today's spelling bee. And these are all animals. That's right. Animals that you can find on the Galapagos Islands. And why did I choose that? Well, I love animals. Oh, and also because today, in 1832, Ecuador in English, annexed the Galapagos Islands. Folks, we've got a lot of stuff to cover in the fourth and final part of today's show. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is part 4 of today's show with no name. We've got a lot of stuff to cover in this part of the show. We're going to kick off with our Say What soundbite for the 4th time. Hopefully somebody will be able to get it. But if not, I have to say I'm really, really satisfied with your summaries. Excellent. So even if you don't get it word for word, you got the gist of it. If you were watching the movie, you would catch it. That's the important part. I missed a little nuance. It happens. It even happens in English. A lot of times I'm watching something with my wife when Peppa Pig is not on. And she said, what did he just say? And it's in English. And I said, I don't know. She goes, but don't you speak English? I'm like, yeah, but I have to pay attention first. It's not a language thing. It's my attention span. Your attention span is the amount of time you can pay attention to one thing. And mine, sadly, is very low. I think society's attention span is very low. We live in a world of 30-second videos. Don't give me 60 seconds. It's way too long. That's not me. But that's how I feel. Everyone's like, tell me in 10 seconds. And if you can't, I don't want to know. It's like, wait, whoa. What are we speak in blurbs? Like, like we're comic books? I don't think so, folks. All right, well, we've got a lot to cover. So let me give you guys today's Say What soundbite. It's a tricky one, I know, but I'm going to give it to you now for the 4th time. Let's see if anybody can get it.
You think I'm going to waterboard you, Bashir? Waterboarding is when we can't torture. This is Africa. I can do whatever the fuck I want here. You're going to answer every question I ask you without me harming a hair on your head. Do you want to know why? Because if you don't, I'm going to call in an airstrike on your house.
¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
That's right. It's the Oxford Test of English with Vaughn. And you can get more information by stopping by our website. Or if you're in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, please feel free to stop by in person. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got somebody taking a stab at our really tough Say What soundbite, but she did a wonderful job. Give it up for your classmate, Laura. Elena as well. And they both told me that they're missing a little bit. Well, don't worry at all, ladies. Great job. Laura and Elena, you get points for effort. Great job. And you know what? It looks like you've got most of it there. But either way, in just a little bit, I'll tell you word for word. I'll tell you what movie it's from. Well, I can tell you that now. It's from Sicario 2. Sicario, as we say. Sicario. Day of the Soldado. O sea, no se puede ser más Spanglish que eso. Right? So it's a scene from a movie, Sicario 2, Sicario 2, if you want to say it in English. Day of the Soldado. Soldado? Soldado? All right, so it's a tough one. It's a tough one, but you guys definitely, or I should say you girls definitely pulled it off. Even if you're missing a word or two, don't worry. As I said, we'll check it in a bit. Let's check our spelling bee as well. Today we are off to the Galapagos Islands. Oh, man. Everybody just close your eyes for a second. Put your toes in the sand and wiggle them around. Oh, that's not sand. Oh. Hey, I tried. Mind over matter. A veces nos podemos autoconvencer, right? De las cosas. Mind over matter. Well, these are all animals, species of animals that you can find on the Galapagos Islands. Have any of you ever been to the Galapagos? I think of the Galapagos, I think of Madagascar. I think of these places like natural paradises, So, weird. Galapagos. Anybody been there? They're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I mean, you got to really be going there. They're not really on the way to anywhere. So I chose a couple different animals that you can find there. The first one is marine iguana. Right? Iguana. You say the same thing, I believe, right? Iguana. Marine es pues marino, del mar. The next one, a blue-footed booby. Booby, you call it a bobo, I believe you call it. Lo busqué. Pone aquí piquero, pájaro bobo. Okay? Booby. Those are funny, those birds. Well, this is a blue-footed, que es patas o pies azules. A blue-footed booby. The next one is also a species of bird, and it's named after Charles Darwin, who spent time on the island as well. On the islands, I should say. And they're called Darwin's finches. What is a finch? A finch es un pinzón, it says here. We're learning some specific vocabulary. This vocabulary is for the birds. For the birds, es lo peor. Estamos hablando. Okay, never mind. So, yes, a Darwin finch es un. Oh, it says fringílido as well. Fringílido o pinzón would be a way to say this. So, Darwin's finches was number 3. Number 4, a giant tortoise. We saw that word today when we were talking about the tortoise and the hare with your classmate, Laura. Tortoise. Now, I've never known. Let's find out right now. Difference between turtle and tortoise. Okay, here we go, folks. Are you ready? Thank you, Google, for all of this. My whole life, 47 years. And I'm finally going to find out with my students what the hell's the difference between a tortoise and a turtle. And we talked about, too, another one, liebre, hare versus rabbit, right? Well, tortoises have more rounded and domed shells. Okay, más redondeando, más como una capilla, right? Domed shells, where turtles have thinner, more water dynamic shells. Well, there you go, folks. There you go. I had no idea. Okay, normally, when you talk about the story, it's the tortoise and the hare. But if a friend says, "Hey, look there's a little turtle," so again, but I don't know the difference. Where I live, sometimes you see rabbits, but I don't know if they're rabbits or hares because. Okay, I know that they have longer ears, blah, 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 but I mean, I didn't get that close of a look. You got to check under. If he's got balls, I can't check that one out. So, yes, a giant tortoise. The 5th one is a hammerhead shark. A hammerhead shark. And the last one, a waved albatross. And how do you say albatross? Let's see. An albatross is like a seagull. Albatros, really? Okay, pues that was easy. En inglés tiene 2 S's. A veces digo, va a ser algo super. Albatross, ahí lo tienes. All right? So there you go, my amigos. Thanks for joining me today on the Galapagos Islands. But now we're going to another place. A place that can take us to many different places. I'm talking about the movies. Name that movie. Also give it up for Chris as well. So, Laura, Elena, and Chris. Laura, Elena, and Chris have all taken a stab at today's Say What soundbite. Excellent job, ladies. I am proud, beyond proud. All right, let's take a look at today's movie. A reclusive, morbidly obese English teacher. Hey, we're not talking about me here, okay? I'm not a recluse. I hang out with people, and I'm not morbidly obese. I might be obese, but not morbid. Okay, it's not about me. A reclusive, somebody who keeps to themselves, ermitaño, reclusive. And the noun is he's a recluse. A lot of people, I remember, you know what? I can tell you the first time I learned this word in English. I remember I was reading Rolling Stone magazine. Who said you can't learn from rock magazines? And it was an article about Axl Rose when he kind of disappeared. And it was called Axl Rose, Rock's Greatest Recluse. And I was like, recluse? What is that, recluse? And then I asked my grandmother or my mom, I don't remember who, and they said, oh, recluse is somebody who just kind of doesn't mix with people, doesn't socialize. So reclusive, and the person, el sustantivo, recluse. A reclusive, morbidly obese English teacher, English con mayúscula, attempts to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter. Oh, and that's I didn't plan that. So did you know that there's a song by Guns N' Roses called Estranged? Esto es una de las pocas veces que os voy a dejar poner una E delante de la S. ¿Y por qué? Porque hay una. Yeah, because it's there. It's not made up. So separado de alguien, distanciado, right? Estranged. Hey, I didn't plan that. Axl Rose, Rock's Greatest Recluse, Estranged. Do you guys know the song? Old at heart, but I'm only 28. Much too young to let love break my heart. Old at heart, when it gets so hard to break. All right, let's take a look. We've got a winner. Please give it up for your classmate, Chris Valron. The movie is The Whale. Hey, we're talking a lot about nature today. The whale, that's right. And, well, the whale can be the animal, as we said. And also we said a whale is somebody with a lot of money, right? A big business person, a magnate. He's a whale. This guy is a whale. We also said to wail, right? To wail, like a guitar, Bob Marley and the Wailers. And we also said Wales, the country, right? Wales. So we looked at this word pretty recently, you know? So let's take a look. Let's take a look at the scene over here. This movie stars Brendan Fraser. It's directed by Darren Aronofsky, the famous director, Brendan Fraser. And have you guys seen the movie? I heard a lot of good feedback about it. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it. It came out in 2022. Again, it stars Brendan Fraser, and it's directed by Darren Aronofsky. And it's called The Whale. ¿Lo llamáis igual en español? La ballena. I mean, it's a pretty logical. I mean, you look at the guy, and that's obviously not what you would call somebody, but you get it in a second. And there's Elena. We're having a whale of a time. I love it. Lo estamos pasando en grande. We're having a whale of a time. All right, let's take a look then. In the scene, Charlie says, "You don't like school?" No, es school. Ahí no puedes poner la E delante de la S. Estranged, yes, right? But school, no. You don't like school? And Ellie says, only idiots like high school. Vamos a pronunciarlo porque se une. It's not high school, it's high school. Only idiots like high school. But you're on track to graduate, right? Charlie asks. You're on track. Estás encarrilado, en camino, right? You're on track to graduate, right? And remember, the verb is to graduate. The person is a graduate. like the movie, The Graduate. And then Ellie says, counselor says I might not. The counselor, a guidance counselor are these people who they give you counseling. Te asesoran sobre tu futuro. Bueno, con estas notas, with these grades, you could maybe, your interests are this. Have you thought about engineering as a career? You know, they kind of try and help you figure out what to do with the skills you have, your interests as well, and kind of guide you. It's called a guidance counselor. And she says, counselor says I might not. No, a lo mejor no graduó. I'm not worried. No estoy preocupada. I'm a smart person. I never forget anything. High school is just bullshit. Okay? High school is just bullshit. Es tonterías. Es gilipolleces. High school. Bullshit. Que mierda de toro, literalmente. And Charlie says, but Ellie, it's important. If you don't graduate, then... And then she cuts him off. Le interrumpe. And she says, are you actually trying to parent me now? Parent es verbo, ser padre, right? Educar. De repente, like, because he never did before, I guess. That's what I'm getting from it. And so she says, are you actually trying to parent me right now? ¿Realmente estás intentando ser padre ahora? No? Educarme ahora? And Charlie says, no, I'm sorry. I just thought that maybe we could spend some time with each other, right? A lo mejor podríamos pasar un tiempo juntos. And Ellie says, I'm not spending time with you. You're disgusting. You're disgusting, or you're gross, you can say. And Charlie says, well, I'm a lot bigger than I was since last time you saw me. And Ellie says, no, I'm not talking about what you look like, tu aspecto físico. You'd be disgusting even if you weren't this fat. You'd still be that piece of shit dad who walked out on me when I was 8. All because he wanted to fuck one of his students. Okay. Wow. So vamos por partes. No, sigues siendo una persona que das asco. No es tu peso. You seguirías siendo that piece of shit, esa mierda de padre, who walked out on, ahí tienes un phrasal verb, abandonar, who walked out on me when I was 8, cuando tenía 8 años. All because he wanted to fuck one of his students. So there you go. Wow. The dialogue is good, I've got to say. And I'm usually a fan of Darren Aronofsky. All right, my amigos, we've got a birthday to get to. It's famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi, oi, oi. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays here on the show with no name. Number 1, I just said his name seconds ago. The director of today's Name That Movie, The Whale, which is confirmed as La Ballena. Thanks, Chris. So I just said his name. Now, he's directed many, many movies, including Pi. Remember, you say pi, ese número matemático. We say pi. What about Requiem for a Dream? What a great movie. Wow. Jennifer Connelly, Requiem for a Dream. Also, The Wrestler. I heard that's a really good movie. I haven't seen that one either. He also directed Black Swan. There we go with the birds again. Estos pájaros de nuevo. And as we said, The Whale. Number 2, this guy was an American singer, songwriter, and the keyboard player of You Know the Day Destroys a Night, Night Divides a Day, Try to Run, Try to Hide, Break on through to the other side, Break on through to the other side. The Doors. That's right. The one and only. It's not Jim Morrison. He didn't play the keyboard. It's the keyboardist of The Doors. And last but not least, this American actor was born today in 1968. He first caught the attention of everybody when he was in The Goonies. He played the older brother. He was kind of a recluse, para usarlo. He was reclusive. I don't know whether it was by choice or not. And he disappeared for a while. But then he came back in No Country for Old Men. And he blew everybody out of the water. No, todo el mundo was like, wow, where were you? No Country for Old Men. He was also in Milk. He was in True Grit. He was in Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, the 2010. And in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he's Thanos. Yeah, I mean, that's the role right there. So there you go, my amigos. Let's see, we've got a winner over here. Please give it up for Chris Valrol, number 1. Darren Aronofsky. Number 2, from The Doors, Ray Manzarek. And number 3, Josh Brolin. And don't forget about Laura's eldest brother, Andrea. And happy birthday to Andrea as well. Awesome, awesome stuff. All right, well, let's go over to today's Say What soundbite. This was Josh Brolin in Sicario 2. Es que o lo digo al español o lo digo al americana. There's no middle ground here. And he says, you think I'm going to waterboard you, Bashir? To waterboard. It's a kind of torturing. You think I'm going to waterboard you, Bashir? Bashir is the guy's name. He goes, waterboarding is when we can't torture. Cuando no podemos torturar. This is Africa. I can do whatever the fuck I want here. You're going to answer every question I ask you without me harming, dañando, a hair on your head. O sea, no te va a hacer ni daño ni un pelo. You want to know why? And he opens up a laptop and he shows him his house. And he goes, because if you don't, I'm going to call an airstrike on your house. Voy a hacer que bombardean tu casa. So, wow. Okay, talk about a threat. Here he is, birthday boy, Josh Brolin.
You think I'm going to waterboard you, Bashir? Waterboarding is when we can't torture. This is Africa. I can do whatever the fuck I want here. You're going to answer every question I ask you without me harming a hair on your head. Do you want to know why? Because if you don't, I'm going to call in an airstrike on your house.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
Great job, Show with No Namers. Wonderful job on today's program. Thank you so much for being here every day, and not just for being here, but for giving it 110%, for giving us all your energy. And we're going to say goodbye with The Doors today. Classic rock band, The Doors. The song is Break On Through. In fact, I was trying to give you a little clue. I was singing it before. It starts out, you know the day destroys the night. Sabes que la noche, el día destruye la noche. Night divides a day. La noche divide el día. Try to run, try to hide. Intenta huir, intenta esconderte. Break on through to the other side. Atraviesa al otro lado. All right, amigos, thank you so much, and sing it with me. There's Ray Manzarek with those keyboards. Boom, 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 boom. The birthday boy.
You know the day destroys the night.
Sing it.
Night divides a day. Try to run, try to hide. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
We chased our pleasures here. We dug our treasures there. But can you still recall the time we cried? Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side.